Hello everyone, welcome back to another session of OCM lecture. Yesterday, like in last session, we have started with the first chapter, that is Principles of Management. In that we learned nature and significance of principles. Now today we are going to learn about theories of management. Till date, we have learned about how principles help manager to solve problems. But today we are going to learn that what are those principles who help managers. So let us proceed with the lecture. Theories of management. Management thinkers such as Winslow Taylor, Henry Fayol, etc. has introduced the theories which are based on different approaches. These theories are applicable in all type of organizations. Okay. Henry Fayol, administrative theory of management. We are going to learn about Henry Fayol's theories of management. So, Henry Fayol was a French mining engineer. After conducting many experiments in management, he developed 14 principles. 14 principles which we are going to learn today. So, due to his contribution to management, he is called as father of modern management. Students, it is very important that who is father of modern management? It is Henry Fayol. Keep this in mind. Okay, then let's start. So there are so these are the 14 principles. So we'll start with the first one. Number one in that is division of work. Each part should be assigned to a single person who is expert in that particular task. Work should be divided into small parts. Due to this principle, employees get specialized in their field. What is specialized? It is perfect. By doing that work again and again, that employee gets perfect in his work. Okay. The efficiency and confidence of the workers increases due to this principle. Let's move to next point, that is authority and responsibility. Okay, here authority means power to take decision and responsibility means obligation to complete the assigned job on time. If the manager is given the authority to complete a task within a given time, he should be held responsible if he does not do that in time. Are you getting it? I'm repeating it. If a person is given a work to complete it in time, then it is his responsibility to complete that particular task. We can say authority and responsibility goes hand in hand. Next one, principle of discipline. Here, discipline means following rules and regulations. It helps to achieve goals set in the organization. If employee is following all the rules, he is obeying his manager, what will happen? The organization goal will be achieved easily. Okay, let's move to fourth point, that is unity of command. Unity means one. Okay, command means order. Unity of order, unity of command. According to this principle, employee should receive order from one boss only, from one superior only. Why from only one boss? If an employee receives order from more than one boss, he will confuse and will not be able to work with concentration. And if he gets order from only one boss, he will finish his work accurately. Okay. Then fifth principle, that is principle of unity of direction. We learned about unity of command. Now there is unity of direction. As you know, unity means one. So unity of direction means only one direction, only one plan. There should be one plan and that should be followed by every managerial heads. Everyone should go in one direction to achieve organizational goals. Next slide. It is very important, that is principle of subordination of individual interest to general interest. Read it again. Principle of subordination of individual interest. Individual interest to general interest. According to this principle, manager should always consider the interest of whole group rather than the interest of single employee. Okay, that means manager should concentrate on the group interest, not on the single employee's interest. Similarly, employees should give priority to organizational interest and consider his individual interest secondary. If this happens, what will happen? If the organization prospers, automatically the employee will also prosper. Then next, that is principle of remuneration. Remuneration means salary, wages, or whatever you are getting in return of your work. Organization should give fair salary and wages to the employees according to their skills and knowledge. Okay. When the employee are paid fair remuneration, they show greater productivity and give more output. If he is getting what he deserves, what will happen? That he will give his best in the organization. Okay. The next one, principle of centralization. That centralization means that power in few hands. Okay. Centralization means power in few hands. If you break that word, it is center. Center means few or middle. Power is in few hands. Okay. Centralization happens only in small organization. It is not possible to have centralization in big organization because few person cannot handle all the business. So in that process, what happens? The decentralization is there. Here we are learning about centralization, but decentralization is also there. It is done in large organizations where many people are there, where power are divided into to many people. Okay, so next slide. Principle of scalar chain. Listen to me very carefully now. In the organization, there are particular system of communication. Okay. Example, the manager will inform about a decision to the departmental heads. Okay. The departmental head will inform to supervisor. The supervisor will inform to foreman. And the foreman will inform to workers. Okay. From this diagram, we can say A and B will divide into top, middle and lower as you learned it. A to B is top, B to C is middle and C to D is bottom and D to E is foreman supervisors. Okay. So now A is giving order to B, B to C, C to D and D to E. Okay. This chain is known as scalar chain. Okay. Another, if we do cross communication in this, what will happen? There is a name that is gang plank. As you can see in the diagram, if D is directly contacting H, the same level of management, then what will happen? The time will be less. The consumption of time will be less. But this should be done with the permission and authority only. One cannot go to the other department and communicate without permission. Okay, next slide. Next is principle of order. Here, principle of order means material should be in right place at the right time. Proper placement of personnel. According to this principle, there must be a proper arrangement of material. It should have right place. Similarly, there must be a proper placement of personnel. What do you mean by personnel? Personnel are employees, manpower who are working in the organization. They must be appointed to do right work at right job. This principle emphasizes on the proper utilization of physical and human resources. Next principle is principle of equality. Equality means equal. According to this principle, management should be kind and fair to their subordinate, and there should not be any discrimination between the employees. For example, employee working in the same level but different department should be paid same salary. Like a sales manager, finance manager, they should get same salary because they are working in the same level. As far as possible, there should be equal division of work. Okay, this avoids conflicts in the organization. Next principle is stability of tenure. According to this principle, okay, stability means unchanged, which cannot be changed. It is stable, it is rigid. Tenure means job. Tenure here means job. According to this principle, job security should be there. Manager should assure the stability of job to employee. Employee will give more output if he is having security of his job. If every time employees or personnel keeps on changing, it will affect the organization. So stability of employees in the organization should be there. Let's move to 13th principle, that is principle of initiative. Initiative means taking steps, thinking of new ideas. Employees should come up with new ideas and managers should welcome their ideas. This leads to organization to grow. It creates sense of belongings about the organization in the minds of employees. Employees feel good that his ideas are appreciated. Okay, appreciated. Sorry. So he works with more devotion. Okay, then the last one is Esprit de Corps. Esprit de Corps means teamwork, as you can see in the diagram. As we know, management is group activity. The spirit of teamwork among employees should be there. Sense of togetherness, and this should be created by the manager. If the workers work with group, with team, goal will be achieved easily. We learned about theories of management, in that about Henry Fayol's 14 principles. I hope you all got it. So in our next lecture, we are going to learn about Taylor's principle, that how his principles will work in the organization, or how his principles have helped managers to solve problems. So students, stay home, stay safe and study.